Chapter 375, Suppressing a Sect with One Punch. In the depths of the medicinal door, in the center of the hall that was filled with green smoke, there was a medicinal furnace. A group of people were sitting on the left and right, discussing something. On the main seat, an old man in a dark green robe was playing with a jade cicada. With a precious jade hanging from his waist, he looked like a rich man. On the left and right were the upper echelons of the medicine sect. They were all dressed in luxurious clothes. On the left side of the seat of honor, a young man who was dressed in luxurious clothes and had an equally noble aura said with a dignified expression, "Something has happened to the great Qian Imperial City again. They actually diverted their attention to the north to defend against the Li Kingdom. They must be even more busy. We don't have to hold back anymore. Let's completely turn this bi-state into the territory of our alchemy kingdom. Your Highness, I heard that a princess of Great Qian is going to marry Song Shi. I'm afraid that she will use him to deal with us." The old man at the head of the table was a little afraid. Song Shi? It's most likely that they're deliberately exaggerating. How could an ancient powerhouse like the Sky Demon Saint be killed by a nascent soul cultivator? The eldest prince of the alchemy kingdom said confidently, "Besides, we're only taking down bi-state, not his hometown. What's there to be afraid of?" Boom! A loud sound came from outside, and the entire hall shook violently. The tea on many people's tables fell to the ground and shattered. Shocking aftershocks surged over, and a faint dragon roar reverberated. A powerful pressure enveloped the hall. The first prince of the alchemy kingdom, who was speaking frankly and confidently, had a sullen expression. "What happened? Yao Bugui, is this how you operate in the medicine continent? You were actually attacked by someone?" The old man's gaze was ugly. Before he could answer, Song Shi's voice sounded. "I, Song Shi, am here to cause trouble." The sound shook the space, and the seats trembled. Yao Bugui suddenly stood up. His eyes narrowed and his expression was ugly. He actually like him. Suddenly, the door morphed violently and was torn apart by a large hand transformed from nomological power. A few guards flew in with screams and fell heavily into the hall. All the higher-ups present stood up angrily and glared fiercely at the dazzling figure outside the door. The burning supreme yang true fire swept up a heat wave. Song Shi was surrounded by the golden light and flames as he slowly walked over. "Since everyone is here, let's talk together." With a faint smile, Song Shi spoke first. "I'm about to marry Princess Wuxia. I'd like to invite the medicine sect and the alchemy kingdom to the wedding. The gift required will be half of the medicine sect's profits here. What do you think?" Everyone was stunned and felt that it was ridiculous. How could there be such a shameless person in this world? Even if you got married, how could you ask for a gift to shamelessly? And you even requested for half of the entire medicine sect's profits. What was the difference between this and daylight robbery? Why? Are you dissatisfied? Then give me 30% so that you won't be in a difficult position. Song Shi had a look of concern on his face. "If you want to rob us, just say it. Why are you putting on an act?" Yao Bugui scoffed. "It's not civilized to fight with you. I still have to think about the long-term impact." Song Shi's expression gradually turned cold. "If you don't agree, all of you can die here today. That depends on whether you have the ability." The eldest prince sneered. "Haha, Great Qian is crazily boasting about your achievements. I want to see how powerful you are. Elder Yao Bugui, let's spar with this person." "All right, I'll fulfill your wish." Song Shi glanced at everyone present with a faint disdainful smile. "Forget about one. All of you can come at me together. Otherwise, it'll be too boring." The first prince's expression darkened. "Since that's the case, everyone, follow me to accommodate this esteemed guest." More than 10 Dharma spells were condensed first. Then, various Dharma treasures were taken out. For a moment, all kinds of lights flashed in the hall. Everyone was executing powerful attacks. Song Shi watched calmly. The highest cultivator in this group was a nascent soul cultivator, and the other 10 or so were golden core cultivators. Even if they attacked him mercilessly, they could barely match his abilities. When the eldest prince saw that Song Shi was not afraid at all, his expression turned ruthless. He secretly sent a voice transmission, "Don't hold back. We have to cripple him today. Otherwise, our plan in the bi-state will be ruined." Everyone's expressions turned ruthless as their nomological powers surged crazily. 6 paths of reincarnation, mortal realm. Song Shi looked down from above. The moment he raised his fist, thick dharmic powers surged out like a tidal wave, quickly forming a 6 paths of reincarnation disc outside his fist. The runes in the wheel circulated, and 6 phantoms appeared. He was like a god in charge of the 6 paths of reincarnation, and the Tao of humanity in him lit up brightly. All living beings appeared, and the mortal world surged. Countless figures materialized and worked in the phenomenon. There were also emotions like joy and sorrow stirred up from the real world. Vast nomological power carried the concept of the mortal world and descended on everyone. Yao Bugui and the others were in a daze. It was as if they had been forced back to being mortals. They felt like they were nothing more than mere humans, running around for survival, worried about money. And their lives were filled with joy, anger, sorrow, and joy. They were unable to decide their fate. Everyone was stunned for a moment. The Dharma spells that erupted and the Dharma treasures that were activated unknowingly became much weaker. This time, Song Shi's 6 demon suppression fist was even more powerful. With this additional mental attack, not to mention a nascent soul cultivator, even a soul transformation cultivator would be very troublesome to deal with. As expected, Song Shi's 6 demon suppression fist carried a vast power that covered the sky. It broke through the layers of defense and attacks and landed heavily. Rumble! With a loud bang, the Dharma spells that was attacking him shattered like fireworks. Under the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist, they quickly collapsed and dissipated. The various Dharma treasures also trembled violently from the collision and fell directly, their lights dimming. Impossible! Yabugui, who had returned to his senses, looked at the fist force that was like a huge mountain in disbelief. His face was pale. Kachakaka, the hell shattered under the force of Song Shi's fist as if it was made of paper. The terrifying pressure made the eldest prince and the other golden core cultivators vomit blood first. They watched in horror as the attack that was like the fist of a god descended. "Block it!" Yabugui roared crazily and used all kinds of defensive methods to cooperate to block Song Shi's attack. However, it was still useless. The ground sank and everyone screamed. Even the ground of the palace was punched into the pit. Broken tiles and bricks flew everywhere. Only Yao Bugui, a nascent soul cultivator, was left standing in the pit. The others all vomited blood and knelt on the ground. One punch was enough to suppress a sect. It could be seen how powerful Song Shi was. "Do you still want to fight?" Song Shi looked at everyone coldly. "Why don't I just bury all of you now? Let's talk it out." Yabugui quickly gave in. "Bi-state is Great Kion's territory and you are a relative of the royal family. We are just doing business here and will give you 70% of the profits as co-payment. At least you're sensible now. Come to Jinzu in 20 days to attend my wedding. I still have to invite the next kingdom later, so bring me to the warehouse to take a look now." Song Shi said lightly. Actually, he did not have any killing intent. After all, if he killed someone, who would he ask for resources from in the future? The key was that if he killed them, he would not have anyone to manage the place here. Whereas if he forcefully split most of the profits to benefit himself, it would save him time and effort. This was equivalent to letting these guys work for him. Wouldn't that be better?